This is interesting. Imagine two people, one cast member, one blogger, working together for over a year now, manipulating the media to make one woman look bad. Imagine the cast member breaking his NDA in secret by giving tea to the blogger, who then uses social media to brag about how they're exclusive tea provider. No pictures for proof of any of the tea, just juicy tidbits that they give to the media to make it go viral. Imagine that. For over a year, laying the groundwork that led up to the airing of The Last Resort, specifically to tear one woman down. Wow. Well. This is where things get juicy, because we're going to read the screenshots themselves in particular, the one that obviously has been provided to support this statement here that's been made. So I'll read it off my phone, but it's so much more easier than the screen. Now, with that being said, though, as you can see, this person decided to message 90-day Alexa and say, I have got some tea about Gino using a blogger to target Jasmine, but I will need to stay anonymous. Of course. And the response was, okay, I can keep you anonymous. What is the info? And as you can see, this person started by saying, since the filming of The Last Resort, Gino has been breaking his NDA by trying to make Jasmine look bad in the media by giving bloggers tea against Jasmine. There is a blogger who is always talking bad about Jasmine. Gino has got that blogger wrapped around his finger doing his dirty work. This is hot. Piping hot. Anyway, with that being said, it says, and then the response is, then the anonymous person says, you may already know about these rumors, but all of these Gino gave to the blogger to leak. 1 year ago, his neighbor leaked that Jasmine ran away from home to live with someone else. Gino kicked Jasmine out in December because she was cheating with a Planet Fitness instructor, now known as Matt, the father of her unborn baby. Jasmine allegedly said Matt was her gay best friend. Jasmine was pregnant, and fake news that Jasmine was being abused by Matt. Gino leaked these rumors to a blogger who posted them to make Jasmine look bad so Gino could stay looking like a good guy. Looking like a good guy that everybody should feel sorry for. I ain't gonna lie to you, that last one makes a lot of sense. Regarding obviously Gino wanting Jasmine to look like the bad person so he can look like the good person, because that has been his whole persona the whole time, right? Jasmine's always been the bad wolf, he's always been the good wolf, yada 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 yada. So interesting. And then also on top of it says, oh my god, okay, thank you. Then move on to the next one. So here it says, for trusting me with the information, I promise to keep you anonymous. One thing, do you know who is the blogger? There are a lot of ones that side with Gino, it seems. And then response was, the blogger will reveal themselves if they decide to share the information I have shared with you. Has any blogger been sharing any information since this has come out? Or have they stayed silent? Now that's the question. To be fair, if the blogger has always been quite active speaking badly about Jasmine, I would say that if the blogger stays silent, they expose themselves. If the blogger speaks, they expose themselves. But which one would I pick which would be safe for me to do? Well, I'll keep that one to myself. I kind of want the blogger to expose who they are so we know. You know what I mean? Nonetheless, there's also, okay, laugh out loud. And then can I ask how you have this information? And this person says, I'm close with someone in their circles. That's all I can say is I want to be anonymous. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, I mean, listen, the best way to stay anonymous is by giving as little information as possible about who you are or how you know said things. Because if you say one little thing of how you know said things, then that means you're going to expose who you are. And that means at that moment in time, Gino and the blogger, but you got to think about it right now, Gino doesn't know if it's someone from his circle, and the blogger doesn't know if it's someone from their circle. So therefore now, in this situation, Gino's probably looking at the blogger and saying, well, it must be someone from your circle that you've told. you see what I'm saying? Because in reality, does it really matter? Do you know what I mean? Because it matters more for Gino to figure out who is being exposed, because he's the one that's going to look bad in the situation. So that's quite interesting to me. That's one hell of a response. This is definitely going to cause a situation between the blogger and Gino, shall I say. But, so, here's the thing. Now, here's the thing. I went through the comments and people have had their own suggestions of who they think the blogger could be. You know, I mean, one says not Shibuti, but most people haven't said they think it's him, but a lot of them have kind of spoken as if it's him, to be honest, based on what they've said. So it seems like he could be the blogger. I mean, one thing that I will say is that I don't think I've seen anything come up from his page at this moment in time, but to be fair though, which is kind of surprising, because usually because I've noticed that sometimes when 90 Day will post something, I'll notice like a lot of situation going on with then Shibuti post something. I haven't seen anything on his side at this moment in time, so maybe it's not him. But then like I said before, if the blogger says nothing, it can still say that it's them. If the blogger says something, it then shows it's them. Because look at it this way, you got to pay attention to patterns. If you're somebody that generally is always responding or saying negative things about, I guess, 90 Day Fiance and 90 Day Fiance Alexa in this situation, but now you're not saying anything at all of a sudden, but usually you would. Oh, it's just that when I started reading the comments and people started saying that they think it's him, that's when I started thinking about my own patterns. I was like, I'm good at picking up patterns, and I was like, wait, hold on a minute. Usually when this happens, he says something. But this time, I don't think he said anything. Oh, this is interesting. And then I thought, he has been saying a whole lot of things. And he is Mr. Exclusive T when it comes to a lot of tea. But tea that comes with no actual evidence. Tea that comes with just an explanation of saying that, oh, I've been told, or I heard a rumor, but there's no evidence behind where there's no reference where this evidence has come to. Which just made me think, because you got to think about at the very beginning here, it does say no pictures of any proof. You see what I'm saying? Now with this post here has evidence. It has, well, this is the reference. Somebody has told me this. I'm showing you that they've told me this, which is why I'm bringing this to you. That's something that I haven't seen on that page. That's why I was thinking, after reading the comments, this must be, it has, you know what I mean? But who knows? But we also have to bear in mind that all of this information is all alleged. For now then, okay? Now with that being said though, I then came across this one. I came across a lot of comments, but this one was the one that caught the eye to be more specific. And this is one here, as you can see, is from somebody who claims to be the lawyer or the attorney of cast members. Says, I messaged bloggers that their sources have fed them false information. For example, when one or two announced the pregnancy came out at the tell-all had not even filmed. Therefore, only someone who knew the plans beforehand, which is very few people, would have been able to give these bloggers that information. I messaged one of them to let them know their source was not correct at the time as well. Since I am the attorney for a lot of cast, I knew the tell had not filmed yet when they made the announcement, which put Jasmine at a very high risk of extreme stress. Because of course, if you're pregnant and you're stressed, the combination is never necessarily a good thing. Well, it's never a good thing, is it now, really and truly? So yeah, there is that too. But based on this here, this kind of really explodes the situation even more. It really says that, hey, this whole alleged information here seems like as if it could be more true than it can be alleged regarding Gino being the one that's been leaking information to a blogger. Obviously people have the assumption who the blogger is, so do I, but we can only have an assumption on the blogger. But one thing that we do know is that the cast member that allegedly has been doing it has been Gino. Well, I guess we have to wait and see if there's going to be any kind of response from Gino, maybe, or maybe even the blogger or whatever. You never know. If there is, then I guess obviously that would then let us know exactly who is involved or whatever. But nonetheless, though, what I would say though is that right now, if I'm Gino, I'll be looking at the blogger thinking, or given that this is true, of course, I'll be like, so who did you tell in your circle? Because somebody doesn't like you now. Somebody's spilling some tea. What's going on here? When you think you can trust people, but you can't really trust people. I mean, listen, to be honest, when it comes to this social media world, you know, end of the day, all bloggers, all content creators, you know, we're all here to get the tea. And some people who may not have any morals, will happily stab others in the back to get what they want, and it is what it is. Now, obviously, in this situation, I wouldn't say it's a case of where the blogger has necessarily stabbed Gino in the back, if this is true. This is more of a case of maybe the blogger has opened their mouth to the wrong person, and then that person has then ended up saying something to where we are now. You never know. Be careful who's in your circle, people. Especially if you're looking to trust people that you've never met before. Anyway, with that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I want to know what you think. Who do you think this blogger is, and what do you think about this information? Do you think that Gino really could be the person, or really has been doing this? Do you really think he has been trying to take Jasmine down? Let me know. Let me know. Oh, my apologies. Let me read this though. Even though this is going to cover up most of what we've said before, I'm going to read any of this other stuff that was said here that I don't think that I've said myself. So it says here, allegedly Gino has been breaking his NDA over this past year, laying the groundwork to make Jasmine look bad. My source says that he's the one who leaked the false information about Jasmine having an affair with a guy who she called her gay best friend. Also, who she ran away from home, but later said he kicked her out of his house. On top of that, tried to make Matt look like a bad guy by saying he was physically abusing Jasmine. Now that we are watching The Last Resort, since it finally aired since the filming a year ago, we can see that Gino actually agreed to an open marriage and was okay with Jasmine letting Matt into their lives. I am not surprised by any of this news, especially as I might have a guess who the blogger is that's leaked every piece of this information to the media. What do you think? All right. Hey, let me know. Peace.